Hello, everyone. We're still waiting for a few more people to pop in. So we're right on time. Exactly. We're just gonna wait as our latecomers start to join, and we will allow them to come in.
Yeah. So what's up with the hat?
Hey, it's Saucy.
You're too much, girl.
I try. Okay, we'll wait just another minute or two. And if you guys are able to view the chat, if you look at the bottom of your screen, it'll have like a little box for chat. I did post in the chat for you to tell us what you sell and how many years you have participated in Shopapalooza. Or if this is your first year, please put down that this is your first year.
Good point. Okay, thank you. There you go. Go.
I can't find it. I've called in, but I guess I call in until I get.
All right.
Got a few more we're letting in.
Hang on a second.
Hi, Monica.
Welcome to
Hey, sis, how
everyone
are
who
you?
joined us.
Hi, Karen.
Got a few more still coming in.
There's an empty couch.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can hear it. I can't see anything, but
How do we see everybody?
So on your screen, you can click on view on the upper right, and then you can choose if you want it to be a gallery, sort of like, what was that show in the 70s, 60s or 70s with the two families merged? What was that show? Pat, help me out.
Brady Bunch?
Yes,
I'll just
like when you
listen.
see the little Brady Bunch with all the squares, you can choose that. You can choose full screen, whatever.
And thank you for going to me. Thanks for going to me for the antiquated
Pat,
question.
Emma, forward
Well,
that to me.
Well,
I'm
Pat,
going to-
it was the years. I figured you would know.
It was our wonder years.
Yes. All right, so it's 6:03. I think we're gonna wait another 30 seconds. Meanwhile, go ahead and jump into the chat. There's a question there waiting for you. Take a moment while you're here, while we're waiting another few seconds. Tell us what you do and how many years you have been a part of
Here, I'll
Shopapalooza.
take that.
And for just now,
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna mute everybody, and then you can unmute when you have
That would
questions.
be nice.
Or is this a good position for you?
Perfect.
Okay,
I'll just turn it around a little bit.
okay, you'll just.
Okay, so I muted everyone, and until you have questions, you can unmute yourself. And hold on, I'm gonna unmute. Oh, let me admit a few more people. Okay, I got one in the waiting room who's joining. And we'll start in just one moment. Okay, would you unmute Esther and Pat, please? I think you can just click on them up above. Okay, Esther and Pat, if you can unmute, I'm asking to unmute you. If
Can you hear me?
allow that, yep,
Yep, we got it.
awesome. Okay, I think everybody is in. We have 20 participants, which is great. So meanwhile, if you had just joined, please go to the chat. Tell us what you create or what you will be selling, what service, and how many years you have been a part of Shopapalooza. Perfect. And I think everybody is in now. So welcome, everyone. This is the Q&A of Shopapalooza. Everything you have ever wanted to know or maybe you didn't even want to know. We're going to tell you all of it because between myself, Esther, and Pat, we've been at what, 1 million Shopapaloozas, a dozen, somewhere in between. Right, Pat?
Yeah. We round up to the nearest 100th.
That's right. And so we're here to answer all of your questions about Shopapalooza, tell you a little bit about it, and we have a few tips to make sure that your booth shines during Shopapalooza and what you can do before Shoppa, during Shoppa, and well, after, that's your problem. So Esther, how many years are we? Is this 12?
So this is year 12. It would have been 13, except that, last year
Right.
didn't happen. And it's been growing ever since. We started out with about 35 vendors back in 2010. And this year we have 300.
Woo.
We started out as a 1-day event. It was like a 4-hour market. Obviously now it's a 2-day, huge festival. There's live entertainment all day. There's a ton of activities for you guys. And hopefully it's gonna be the best one ever. I think people are ready to go out and do things.
Oh, yeah. I think so. So it's at the Vinoy and it's November 27th and 28th. And Esther's going to send tons and tons of information on setup and choosing your spot and your zones and all of that for sure.
Yeah, so for the most part for setup, if you can come on Friday, that's way better, because Saturdays, there's too many people to come on Saturday. So if you come on Friday, you'll be able to choose the space you'd like within your section. So when you get there, you'll come and check in. We'll tell you what section you're in. And it's 3 sections. There's north, south, or central. So there's a lot of spaces you can choose from within the section.
And listen, spaces go fast. You can't be sitting there, because boom, boom, that spot's gone.
Yeah,
So,
but all the spots
shows
are really
you-
good.
Yep.
The way we did the layout, it's kind of like a loop kind of layout. So it's not like vendors back to back or in a row. So it's all kind of loops. All the regular vendors are all facing in. And in the middle part, we have the activities and the food vendors. So there's really no bad spot. It's a matter of some people like facing east, some people like being under a
Right.
tree, but there's no, people don't have to decide which way to go. It's like they start walking and they'll, it's kind of like going to IKEA. You have to kind of walk through the whole thing. And so when you choose your spot, just decide if mostly if you want to be near water. Like some people that have children, they don't want to be on the water side. They'd rather be a little farther from the water. But wherever you are, as long as you're a good vendor, you'll do well.
Right. Okay, so I see Samantha, you have your hand up. Is that for a reason? If so, run, girl. Let us know.
Oh, I didn't know if there was a procedure for asking questions, if you wanted us to keep them till the end or ask them.
Well, we do prefer if you do some sort of interpretive dance that corresponds to your question. So like if you do that, then we're really going to pay attention.
Well, I will do the interpretive dance. I will, however, not turn my video camera on. So, unfortunately,
Good answer.
I did not
Amanda.
get the memo about headwear. So next time I will make sure that I dress appropriately, and then the interpretive dance can be shared with all.
See?
Anyway, my name is
Samantha, I love you.
Thank you. It's good to be loved. My name is Samantha, or Sam. I am the owner of Sunshine City Colors. We make custom crayon and chalk. And my question about the space assignments, is this like done out west gold rush style and we just run and put a stake in it, or are we coming
No.
to a specific space and choosing it at the admin spot there?
So when you come to check in, you wait your turn, and we'll have somebody take you to your designated zone. And once you're there, you can choose your space. So you just come and check in first, and then we'll take you to your zone.
Perfect. Thank you.
There's zone coordinators, correct, Esther?
Yes, we
Yes.
have a lot of people. I think we have about 8 people who will be there on Friday.
So Samantha, really quick, tell me once again what you do. I think I
Sure.
heard it correctly, but
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't have the dance to go with it, so I wasn't sure.
Oh, I make custom crayons and
What?
chalk and
You
sidewalk chalk.
You make like what Crayola does?
Well,
better?
we
Much better.
We recycle and upcycle crayons into better, because more creative shapes,
No way.
numbers, letters, characters, Christmas ornaments, any number of different things.
I
Wait, sorry,
love
Michelle.
that.
Somebody texted me, said that they're waiting for the Zoom to start.
No, they're not in the right spot. There is a person in the waiting room named Christina, and we allowed her to get in, but it's still just saying that she's joining.
Huh.
Did the text person tell you a name?
No, and I don't recognize the number.
You can ask, is this Christine? Or you can just maybe suggest that they log out and log back in. If you could do that, that would be great. Yeah, I see
don't know what I did.
yep, there she is now, Christina. So I think there was a connection issue. Welcome,
Oh,
Christina. We've been waiting for you. It still says joining, so hopefully she made it in. Okay, so we have some more hands raised. We're gonna go ahead and ask Gail. Can you go back to Gail? If you can unmute Gail.
Did you unmute? Hi, this is Kalina and Gail. We're the co-owners of Almaria.
Wonderful.
We do handmade home goods. So aprons, bowl koozies, drink koozies, all sewn handmade.
Beautiful. And where's your interpretive dance for these?
Yes.
There we go. Awesome.
Do we know an estimated time for Friday setup yet, or is that still to be determined?
Let's unmute Miss Esther. Miss Esther, you
Oh,
can stay
yeah, can you hear me?
unmuted the whole time, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll send the details, but most likely setup of Friday will be between 2 and 5.
Right.
And you just need to arrive between those hours. You can stay as long as you want to set up.
Okay.
But you need to be there by 5 because sunset is at 5:30.
Right. And Esther's
So-
going to happy hour at 5.
Exactly. So as long as you check in by 5, you'll be, taken to your area, but you can stay as long as you want.
So, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so we're still trying to let Christina in. And we have another hand raised, and that is with Just Cause Chocolates, who we should have had her like sponsor this so that we were all like eating chocolates. I mean, that is a miss on my part, I have to say. Okay, so Just Cause Chocolates, what's your question?
So I have 3 questions. First is, do you and Esther have a sense of humor?
I'm still trying to come out of my shell. My name is Michelle, but I'm still trying to get out of my shell. Maybe one day.
Because you guys said setup is on Friday. I don't know if you guys realize that is Black Friday. So the fact that we're not allowed to rush and be crazy to our spot is just mind-boggling.
I never thought about that.
Um,
That'll be fun. That'll be fun if we do it like a rush to your spot. That'll be a fun little video.
Yes.
but
We
serious
could
question.
let's do a video about this.
Yeah.
This
Well,
would
I'm not
so
going to be
fun.
the security guy who gets trampled like you see every year at Walmart.
I can assure you I will not be the one running. I can promise that.
And then
We've got to sacrifice somebody.
I'm not losing my life over a big screen TV.
And then an actual serious question. You had mentioned children. Are we allowed to have 4-legged friends?
Yes. Yeah, pets are allowed. They need to be on leashes and obviously well behaved. But yeah, it's very pet friendly.
Okay.
gonna say, those are weird kids, four-legged kids. Weird.
Oh, and also we
Lord.
recommend,
Jeez, you're not from Pasco
recommend
like me, are
having
you?
Well, Pat, just
How
wait till
about-
you see my four-legged friend lick his own butt.
Oh, well, now we're getting in a whole different area of videos.
Yeah, but like one idea, one a vendor had like, I don't know, a couple years ago was to bring like a bowl of water for pets, because if a pet comes to your booth, the owners are gonna follow.
That's true. That's a good idea.
Yeah, so just a
And
little fresh
know-
water.
Fresh water. And then I know some people do bring treats.
Yep.
Also for pets too.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do too many treats because we have
No.
pet vendors, so we don't want
Right.
to take away from them. But lightly.
Mhm. Okay, so we're looking through. I don't know if there's any other questions yet. So I'm gonna give. you
Well, she has a
quick tip.
third question.
Oh, I lost count because I started to crave chocolate.
I think I just don't know how to count because I only had 2 questions, or I might have forgot my third one. I don't know.
Well,
Oh.
if you remember your third one, we're still here. Okay, so I'm gonna give a tip in between while everybody's still thinking of more questions. So my biggest tip is for you to wear a headdress. Well, that's for me. Now, the reason why I go like a little bit crazy is because I sell hot sauce and things that are saucy. You have to personify it. So my first tip is to become your brand. Whatever you're selling, people have to look instantly and kind of get the the idea for it. So G&G, who sell aprons, they may want to wear one of the aprons. So I'm just trying to remind you to become what it is that you're selling. So make sure that when people are looking at your booth, that they know instantly what you sell, what you're doing, what service that you have, because you only have a fraction of a second of their attention, because there's 300 vendors, there's Santa Claus, there's a Christmas village, there's a beautiful seating zone, like there's so many things. How many food courts are there, Esther?
So this year we're doing 4 food courts.
Right.
Because back in 2019, we just did 1, and all the vendors who were not in that section, they were like starving. So
Yeah.
this year we're doing 4 food courts. So no matter where you
Exactly,
are.
and they're
there'll be-
all spread out, right?
Yep. So
Yeah,
every
so-
zone has its
So
own.
everybody's attention is everywhere, kebabs, and Greek salad. So that you only have a fraction of a second. So you want to make sure that your booth is holiday themed a little bit, because you want people to get in the mood of shopping and buying gifts, because we all know that this is your big chance to sell lots and lots of gift baskets and items and those type things. So try to have a holiday flair, but still have your brand. Also, if you're selling items, make sure that it is very visible what the cost is. I can't tell you the number of times I've gone past a booth and thought, oh, that's cool. But like, say that person's talking, but if I'd seen the price, it's only $5, I would stop and wait until that person's done talking, throw my $5 at them and purchase that item. But because it didn't have a price displayed somewhere or a tag or something, I just kept walking. So just remember those fine tips.
And I would add to that, we always have media that comes to our events.
Yeah.
So the better looking your booth is, the more excited you are, the happier you look, the more likely it is they're gonna come to you to interview you. Because there's always at least 1 or 2 stations come day out to do
That's
coverage.
true.
May I mention something about that?
Yes.
So, yeah, we're gonna try and get as much media as possible this year, as we always do.
Oh, Pat Largo, you should introduce yourself.
Oh, Pat Largo, I've been basically, I met with Esther. I'll give you the truncated version. I met with Esther at an erstwhile coffee shop on Central Avenue in St. Pete in 2008 or 9. And she actually got me off of Craigslist. She answered my reply and she said,
The
"Hey, I
only
got this."
person.
The only person. And I got this idea about doing stuff for local stuff. And I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. and we've been friends and working on and off ever since. So I've been lucky enough that she trusts me to host the entertainment portion of Shopapalooza. So I've been doing that for a few years. So that's what my background is. And basically, there's when we were here, not in 2020, but 2019, especially 2018 and 2019, a few times Esther will mention, hey, there's this one vendor who says they're not getting much traffic. Can you please go see them? Or when I'm doing the entertainment stage, right? When the band's on and I know they just started and they're going to play about 45 minutes, I'll walk around the other two portions of Vinoy. And in 2019, especially, when I say there was throngs of people, there was thousands of people just walking around and visiting each vendor. And at any point, I could see people at every single vendor. So to go back to my previous point, the people who were having problems attracting people, before I even got to their vendor tent, they were the ones on the cell phone in the back of the tent, just doing this. And I just, if this is your first event with us or first event, or just the more proactive you can be with your brand, with your merchandise, and meet and greet people, because people will walk by. Like Michelle said, they have a couple of seconds because they're walking by. They're having a snack while they're doing it. And the more you can say, hey, how are you? Or just greet them, say Merry Christmas, whatever you want to say, as opposed to just keeping your head down and not acknowledging them. Believe me, those are the ones who weren't doing well, because after a while, everyone else was selling stuff out. So, I mean, the more proactive. Yeah, the more proactive, just a simple meet and greet, a simple hi, how are you? They're walking by, and if they're walking by at a normal pace, like Michelle said, 2 or 3 seconds, they're going to be right by your vendor tent. So you got to just draw them in, you know? So that's the main thing I saw. Other than that, there's going to be a lot of people out there, especially since we didn't do it last year. And we had a lot of people in 2019. I can't imagine what we're going to have this year. So I'm just excited for everybody. Yeah, I'm so pumped up, and I'm going to do the best I can with Esther to get as much media. I was joking with Esther. I said, I want to somehow get national coverage. I'm going to do my best to somehow, some way contact someone to get us national coverage, because
now you've got to do it. Now
I know, because I already said it.
It's recorded, yeah.
I can't back down now. But, you know, Esther has done such a great job for the last 11 or 12 years that, and Michelle, that we deserve. You know, I think we are the largest independent local shopping event in Florida, I believe, and probably the southeast of the country. And sometimes I just say in the country, because I mean, there are other events I know around, but I don't know if they're as big as ours. They could be maybe one other. So I'm going to try and do my best to get us as much media exposure as possible. So just smiles, and like Fantasy Island, smiles, everybody be happy. That's it, man. So yeah, just be under your vendor tent. The more you say hi to people, and because remember, a crowd draws a crowd.
That's true.
If you have 5 or 6 people in front of your bench or your area, more people are going to go, I wonder what they're doing. And then imagine every vendor has that. So you're just going to keep drawing and keep drawing and keep drawing and keep drawing. Right. That's why sometimes it is best to have 2 people working with you. So if somebody wants to do social media or take pictures and videos and post it, you could go to the back of the area and take a break and post it while your coworker or friend is manning the front. Because once you go back there and ignore people, I mean, you don't mean to, but they'll just walk right by.
Yes.
And you're missing a lot of people. So it's going to be pretty sweet.
Right.
So that's my 2 cents.
We do have a few questions in the chat and comments I want to talk about. Courtney is asking, is there security overnight? And how far is parking from where we set up?
There's security Friday and Saturday night. The security, they're not officially responsible for anything lost, stolen, or damaged, but we've never had a problem in the past. Parking Friday, when you come to set up, you most likely will be able to drive right up to your spots on Friday. On Saturday, you won't be able to. And Saturday, they're closing the road starting at 9 a.m. So no cars will be able to drive past the park after 9. And then as far as regular parking, there isn't any designated vendor parking. But there's parking behind there's a pool rec center. There's parking behind that. Or ideally, we would recommend you park at one of the parking garages. It's like $5-10 for the entire day. There's also street parking, but they do tow and they do they give tickets, but they also tow. So don't park at a meter. It's not going to be worth it.
Right. Okay, so Esther, we have someone who's going to send you a message about a possible media opportunity, which is great. So then
awesome.
Another person said, Pat, there needs to be a Palooza dance for TikTok,
Yeah.
like a TikTok
I hope not a
challenge.
challenge. No, we don't want a challenge. We don't want, I mean, anything too dangerous because Esther doesn't have that much insurance. We don't need milk crates, or we don't need.
We don't need a ice bucket.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe something shopping driven. We'll see. We'll
Could
do
be.
the
Think about
Palooza,
that.
the Palooza shuffle.
You're in charge of the shuffle.
We'll look
So
into that.
another quick question is, do people set up their own tents, or do you have a vendor that will set up tents for you?
You're on your own.
Yes,
Sorry.
on your own. Bring helpers
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, I have another hand raised. And that is Gail, G&G.
Jean K. Jean K.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
That's
thought
okay.
I had heard 2 G's.
It's okay.
Okay.
Do we know if the city's still planning on the holiday parade Saturday night?
As of right now, they are.
Okay.
It's not officially on their schedule yet, but last time I talked to them, they said they're planning to do it. So we'll see.
And then I had another question, is that like if we have friends and family members wandering with wearing our wares, trying to get them back to our booth, is that allowed?
Wait, say that again?
So like, for example, my 6-year-old is adamant about being a walking billboard for us and wanting to walk
okay,
around
yeah.
wearing our aprons and stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah,
all of our friends, yeah. So I didn't want to
Yeah.
look, like we're panhandling.
Oh, yeah. If you're a vendor, you're welcome to have your walking billboards.
Okay.
Yeah. Just no politics, no religion.
Yeah.
Does your 6-year-old like hot sauce?
No, but my 42-year-old husband would gladly carry that around.
Okay, because I need a walking billboard too. Okay,
Great.
so we do have, all right, is this the same hand? Yep, that was it. Okay, so another quick thing I want to approach. I know that Esther, you have in the chats and the groups talked about this, but while we have everybody's attention right now, can we go over, please, promotion of the event? Meaning, if they create their own event, we want their company name first, then Shopapalooza for an event, so it doesn't get confused. You want to go over that real quick?
Yeah, so if you're creating your own event, which is very cool to do that, just name it, like Intensity Academy at Shopapalooza, or
Right,
just called chocolates at Shopapalooza.
because otherwise
That way-
it gets very confusing.
Yeah, because if people look for Palooza, we want them to find the official page because we'll have a lot of updates as it gets closer. And we also don't want somebody to go to a page and see there's like 10 people coming. They're gonna think
Yes,
it's a really cool event.
yep,
So that's the reason we just ask you to create your own page, but use your own name if you want to do your own page.
right.
And then other marketing things that we have coming up, Creative Loafing is putting together our Palooza guide. Everybody gets a free listing in there. That it's your name, your website, and a really short description. You don't need to do anything. You should have already filled out the form for that, but you don't need to do anything else. If you want to get there's paid advertising available for like regular, display ads. And I'll send you, I think I had the link at the previous email, but I'll send it again. And then this just in, Sarah from Sale Marketing, she's one of our members. She came up with some packages, media packages, through I Love the Berg and I think a couple local print publications. So she negotiated like lower rates for our vendors. So if you want information on that, you just talk to her directly and I'll send you her email. But it's a really, it's a good opportunity just to get your name out there, before the event and after the event.
So,
And then the last thing is I'm doing like if you want like a custom flyer for you, I've been doing those kind of like fun little
Beautiful.
animated. Just send me a photo of your face and I'll create a digital flyer for you.
Oh, what a handsome boy.
beautiful.
And we have printed postcards. If you want some, message me and we can coordinate where you can pick them up.
Perfect. So Esther, I know we're going to have some media before the event, and I know that I'm going to that one neighborhood association meeting as well.
Yeah.
If anybody who's on the Zoom wants an item to be displayed and then raffled off, let me know afterwards. I think it's a good way to get your item out exclusively. I will be talking about that item exclusively at that meeting. And then also when we do other media things, I usually have to display items, for the sets and stuff.
And if any of you, if you're part of your neighborhood association or anything, and there's any meeting coming up that they let speakers come in, you're welcome to either represent us, or if you'd like, Michelle or Pat can come and represent.
Absolutely, yep.
I don't like public speaking, so, but Michelle
Pat and I,
Pat
we do.
yeah.
That's all I have left.
Yeah, that's it.
And if you have any media friends, any connections, I mean, we always get publicity, but the more is better. We never turn down any publicity. So
Right.
any bloggers, you don't need to be just big media, but bloggers, influencers, like I said, neighborhood meetings. Those are good ways to
Right.
get people out there.
Okay, so we do have a few more questions and a few more hands. So as far as questions, Eric wants to know, do you leave your products out overnight or do you just set up your tent and table the night before?
That's completely up to you. Most people leave definitely their tables and tents, and they'll leave their products inside bins. And then in the morning, they'll come and, set it all up. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you're welcome to bring your products.
And you're gonna sell out the first day. You're gonna have to bring more product the next day anyway.
That happened, that Saturday, because a lot of the food vendors, they were in front of me and around the entertainment stage. And that Saturday, 2 or 3 different ones, it was a couple hours before we even got close to shutting down. And they're like packing up. I go, what are you doing? They go, we sold out.
Yeah.
So like that,
Right.
I mean, it's football season. So that Sunday, I mean, I'm sure the Bucks are going to be on, but what I'm saying is we still had a great crowd that Sunday. But that
Yes.
Saturday, vendors were selling out, food vendors were selling out. That's the kind of crowd. That's the kind of,
Yes.
the amount of people. So
Yeah, Saturday is definitely the busier day
Right.
is Saturday for sure.
it was crazy. So, and real quick, while I think about it, Esther, if you don't mind, because I know we had not really a huge problem, but a little sticking point a couple of years ago. What is your load-in time on Friday, like for people to start getting to the park? Is there
On
a time?
Friday, 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Okay, because I remember
Yeah.
last year or 2 years ago, I think we did it a little earlier, but people were showing up an hour or 45 minutes before that. And these folks, they kind of demand where we're going. I don't know. I need help, blah, blah, blah. And we haven't even started yet. We're like an hour away.
Yeah,
And
so
already-
we need time to set up like the stage, set up
Yeah.
everything else.
Right.
So if you get there early, we're gonna put you to work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So just, 2 o'clock is the starting time. If you're there at 1:15, awesome, but no questions until 2. We
Yeah.
gotta, otherwise there's too many, because one person sees someone talking to Esther and then 10 more people come over and then
Right.
she can't get what she has to get done.
Mhm.
yeah,
And I mean, and nothing rude about it, just that you could be there early, but 2 o'clock, then we'll start taking questions, so to speak, and we'll get you as quickly to where you got to go to set up and get yourself ready for the next
Yeah.
2 incredible days. So,
And just be patient. It's a beautiful park. It's gonna be perfect weather, just be patient.
yeah,
Set up and
Yes.
it's never fun, no matter how organized we are. It's never great.
Right.
right.
So
Okay, we have another question. Christina asked, and I know she missed this because she was having trouble joining, about how you get your area assignments. And Christina, what Esther had said is that you have a zone, you'll have a zone captain, you'll arrive, and if you arrive on Friday, you get to choose where you are. Okay, and then I have Bear Creek. I'm going to ask you to unmute. I see a question.
Yeah, it's actually not a question, more of a acknowledgement of what Pat and Esther had said. If you've not done this festival before, this Shopapalooza, strap yourself in, because there isn't a festival or market like this anywhere. And I make some fairly high-end items that are kind of pricey. And I spent 2 months making stuff prior to the event. And on Saturday, I damn near sold out of every single thing that I brought. I was dumbfounded. So prepare. Don't think it's like any other market you've ever done before, because it's not.
Wow.
Thank you. That's awesome. That's
I'm
a
not crying,
great
you're crying.
testimonial.
That's crazy.
That's
Esther,
awesome.
how do you feel about that, Esther?
that's awesome. Yeah, it's nice to hear that.
That's great.
And Mark's
I
stuff
teared
is
up
like,
a second. I did.
Yeah, Mark's stuff is like so beautiful. So I'm not
Yeah.
surprised he sells out.
I had Mark on the local shops one lowdown last year.
That's right.
So, maybe we'll do a little mini one this year before Palooza.
Yeah.
We'll do that. We'll showcase some places.
Okay, G and K, right? Did I get it right this time? Okay, you guys have another question. What's up?
I have a couple, sorry.
Sure.
When it comes to the marketing, what's, I guess, preferred for us to share the official event, like invite people to the official event over and over again? Because I know it's a little like it would have to come from us personally versus from the business, and if in terms of the invite, or to do like Almaria Designs at Facebook, like, or at local Shopapalooza, excuse me. Is there one preferred over the other to kind of keep things streamlined?
I mean, I think both. If you're gonna create your own event, as long as you have time to manage your events.
Right.
Like we don't, because some people create an event and then they never go and update anything. So then if somebody goes to it, it looks like it's like dead, So if you can update it, post photos and, keep people engaged, then I would say totally do your own. But if you don't think you're gonna have time to do it, then just send people to ours.
Okay. And then Michelle, in terms of like the potential raffle items, et cetera, is that separate from any raffle item we would have already sent in with our contract?
Yeah, so we're doing raffles at the event. We're doing like the big, like a $500 shopping spree each day, and then we'll have kind of other prizes that you guys have sent me.
Right. So
But
what,
you
and what
sell-
I'm asking for is either items that I will raffle if Pat or I go to speak at places, or they may end up on the media. And sometimes we do give those away to the media folks when we're there as well. So whatever you're giving, you may not get back. But you'll get a little extra shine for it.
Great. Okay. And then can you say which neighborhood you're going to currently? Just because I was going to approach my neighborhood association.
Do you remember the name of the neighborhood, Esther? I just know I'm going to.
Let me look it up. Hold on. I'll look it up.
Okay. She's gonna look that up. Okay, let's see. Nathan is saying, Gail, there's a way to add official Shopapalooza event to your own business page. This is what I do, so all my viewers can see the actual information and updates pertaining to the event.
We may reach out to you because I'm doing the best I can social media wise, but I don't know all the ins and outs. And so a lot of it's been like sharing the event. And unless we're made a host, I've noticed is when it doesn't show necessarily as an event, like unless we're a co-host. So I may reach out to you on how to do that.
And then there's another question. Will you be sending an email before the event with our final zone decision? And if there is a certain entry zone for us to pull into that zone? Yes. Esther will send you 58 emails between now and the event. I promise you.
That's true.
Friday, that is true. Bear
Okay.
Creek, am I telling the truth? She's gonna send a lot of emails. So
I
don't
sent a
you
lot of
worry,
emails.
you'll know where you're going, when you're going, all of that.
You'll get hammered with them.
Oh, yes.
At
Yeah.
all
And I
hours.
also post on our business members page. I'll post there. Sometimes I'll
Right.
just say, there's an email. And I post on the St. Pete area events page. Yeah,
Right.
the neighborhood, October 19th, it's North Kenwood. That's where
North
the shop.
Kenwood, okay, good.
No.
That's a beautiful neighborhood.
All right, because I can ask, I'm in Kenwood, so I can ask them too.
Okay,
Oh,
awesome.
I know they have a meeting, I think tomorrow, so it's not gonna be that, it would be the November meeting, but I'll ask.
okay, great. And even if you want to host that meeting, or if you want to be the person talking about it, you can do that too. Okay, great. And so I have another hand raised with our Better Than Crayola, Samantha.
Thanks. I've got a couple of questions around the booth and setup of that, not necessarily day of logistics, but more like design and what works in terms of, people movement and product display at this event versus others. I didn't know when the appropriate time would be to chat about that.
That's now. Let's hear what you're asking.
Sure, no problem. I think I mentioned in my intro earlier that I'm a rookie. This is my first Shopapalooza. And because we are a pandemic business, this past season has been our first kind of season of everything. So we're still trying to, while we've done a handful of shows or outdoor festivals or things at breweries or what have you, we're kind of still trying to figure out what the best way is. So I was wondering, because of pandemic best practices, et cetera, how close will we be to our neighboring booths? Do we recommend that we have people walk inside of our tents and use like a reverse U? Are we doing like a boardroom U where we're facing out to our customers? Do we have one side of the tent to work with, 3 sides? These are the things my brain wonders about.
Yeah. So most people will have one side, the front will be open. Depending on where you are, like there might be, they're not like right next to each other, but pretty close to each other, but not like touching the tents. But depending on where you are, like if you're like near like a bench, there's probably extra little room behind, on each side. But I'll plan on having one main, the front as your entrance.
Can I make a quick comment about that? We've been doing a few markets here and there since the pandemic, not a lot of them. But one thing we have noticed is that people seem to be more hesitant to walk into a booth than whether your table's set up directly in front of your booth. Unfortunately, the nature of what I sell doesn't allow me to just have one 8-foot table in the front of a 10 by 10 tent. So I literally have to create it to encourage them to walk in. But I'm going to obviously stay toward the back of the tent. I'm going to have hand sanitizer out on the tables, all those types of things to try and make them feel comfortable. But I have noticed that people will look more at your items if they're directly in the front, and they seem to be less likely to walk into your tent. And I'm not sure how that's going to go at the market, at the festival.
Hi, Pippa here. Can I say something?
Sure.
Hi, sorry, I'm late to the party, so I might have missed something. This might have already been addressed, but about that setup, I agree with Bear Creek that people are very hesitant. This is from my recent markets. People are very hesitant to walk into the tent, although my setup has always been a reverse U, so that, and I stand in the middle, and people loved that, especially at Shopapalooza with so much traffic. It was just, you're more engaged and you're talking to the customers, and it just drove my sales up. And I found that they've gone down because I'm behind the table now, and you kind of have to reach over to show people the product, sort of thing. But with COVID, I think it is important that we stick to staying at the back of the tent, if that makes sense. And so I think trying to do a reverse U with a 8-foot table and maybe 2 small tables on the other side to create that, so they come halfway through the tent, but you're still behind your products, would work. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Pippa. Good to see you.
Hi, I'm sorry, I can't put my video on because I'm cleaning and you don't want to see all of it.
Okay, Samantha, what are you thinking about what was said?
Well, I appreciate the insight, especially for those who have done this particular event before. We're approaching 10 markets this year, and we have noticed that the markets where we are not required to have people essentially come into our tent either all the way or in part, we do better at. Our sales are up by about 2.5 times versus the markets where they've had to come into our tent.
Right.
So I don't know if there's any way to take a look at layouts from that perspective.
Well, I mean, there's definitely space in front and behind you. There's space, so you don't have to have anybody come inside for sure.
Because there's no back to back, right?
Right. Yeah. There's no vendor like across from you, so you're looking into kind of the open field, and within the field there's like the food trucks and activities.
Right.
But there's a lot of space between you and like the food truck, for example.
Do we know how much space is to our neighbors to the left and right?
To the neighbors, I mean, maybe 1 or 2 feet, depending on where you are. Like, you know, like if there's like a tree in between, you'll have more.
Can you explain that a little bit more? So you're not in front of vendors, you're just.
What do you mean?
There's nobody in front of you?
There's no vendor facing you. So picture like a big circle.
Okay.
If you go to the web, well, the map is really pretty, but I don't know if you'll explain how things are. But so picture a circle, okay? All the vendors are on the perimeters facing in to the circle.
Okay.
And then in the middle parts, that's where you have the food trucks. So kind of like a town square.
Okay.
Kind of concept. So
Yeah.
you're not facing another vendor.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There's no one behind us or in front of us except for the big square space.
Right, like the activities and, you know, the food trucks, but they're not like directly in front of you.
Okay.
Santa Claus might be in front of you, so you better be good, Christina.
Good. I'm really good.
Okay.
Yeah, you might have Santa. You might have, there's like a really cool we're hiring out a chill lounge to do the seating, so it's gonna be like really pretty seating, not the, you know, the crappy chairs that you usually see. So there'll be like things, you know, in front of you, but not like directly in front of you. And so there's plenty of space. Like, if you know, if the customer doesn't want to come inside, they're not going to be run over by anybody.
Awesome. Okay, Monica, you have your hand up.
Hi, everybody. And new into the Palooza, sort of new because I was there when it was only the beginning. So it was quite small and not the big deal that is now. I mean, I've been at the Palooza as a visitor, a customer, and it's big and a little scary. It's so big. I mean, it's really my first event, big event ever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I only, instead I do my things in the galleries and maybe little things here and there, but not like really events. So this is very helpful. And I did a little drawing here. What is it?
Go lower. Yes.
So it's kind of like this. So the people are gonna be in the middle and outside, and I have like 2 tables on each side, something like that.
Well, like nobody's really gonna be, most likely people are not gonna be walking behind you.
Okay.
So the people are all gonna be walking in front of the tent.
Okay, just like this little person here, like la da da.
No, so no,
other
so
way.
the person is gonna be inside the circle.
The person is gonna be inside the circle. Okay.
Yeah,
And here's gonna be the food trucks.
no, the
No.
food trucks are gonna be inside the circle too.
Inside too. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a really big circle. So
Oh,
inside, yeah, so where you have the squiggly thing in the middle, like
Yeah.
that could be a food truck, for example.
I
ah,
thought it was a donut. I keep thinking donuts.
Like it's like Custer at the Little Bighorn,
Right.
but a much happier ending.
Okay. And since I have all you experienced vendors here, maybe I can ask a question because I'm getting everything new for the event. So I'm gonna make a banner. It's gonna be my first ever banner too. And there are so many options. And I wonder if I had to go all the side of the tent, like 10 by 3 foot, or it can be a smaller, like 8 by 3. What do you guys have?
It could be smaller for sure.
Okay.
What do you sell?
I do pottery and greeting cards, illustrations.
Beautiful. So yeah, it doesn't have to fill the whole back, but you wanted to do the majority. I think 8 foot is perfect.
Okay.
because,
I have an 8x2.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my drawing. Can you see
Go
it?
a little closer
No, sir.
to
Nope.
the other side.
The other side.
The camera's on the other side.
Oh,
Yes,
there
there
we
we go.
Here?
There you go.
Yes. Keep going. Keep
All right,
going.
does that
A
make
little more
sense?
that way, a little more the other way, a little more. Oh, okay, back
Now,
up just a little bit.
back.
Now pan back. There you go. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Whoa. Beautiful.
Okay.
All right, so does that make sense? So like that, so there's like all the tents are in the circle, and then
Right.
the people are inside, and the food trucks and all that are inside.
Where's Santa? I don't see Santa.
I can't draw Santa.
Just put a hat on that skinny guy.
This is what I do. You were asking me, I do these pottery things.
Oh,
Wow.
that
I
Esther,
think you
had
know
just
me.
posted
You know my
about
thing.
her. Yes,
Yep.
beautiful. I know you now from your work.
Okay. But this is my
Beautiful.
face.
All right, no more free plugs after that, Monica.
Oh, okay.
I want one, Monica.
Beautiful.
Good
Sure.
Lord, trying to take advantage of the system.
Okay.
Okay, my buddy Santiago. He's
Hey
been
guys, how
waiting.
are you? It's me Santi with Caribbean Skin Massage. I would just wanted to touch what Bear Creek said about the clients or the customers coming inside of the tent. It really depends on the person because from my perspective, I'm a massage therapist. I actually touching people. I do give them massages, and just as long as you're following all the CDC guidelines, you have hand sanitizer, or you are disinfecting the table, or they actually see that you're taking precautions, they're actually gonna feel more comfortable to be around your products or your what you're selling or around you as well too. We are gonna be outside, so mask, I don't know. I mean, if they want to wear a mask, okay, but I mean, I don't see any problem. I've just opened the business when the pandemic started, and all I got is, thank God and knocking on wood, all I've been getting is a very positive reaction from everybody, because as long as the customer sees that you're actually taking care of them, they will taking care of you.
Yeah, so I would suggest having a mask with you.
Sure.
And if you see, you know, maybe elderly customers or somebody who feels
Yes.
uncomfortable, put the mask on.
Yeah.
Like don't make other people feel awkward for wearing a mask, is my advice.
No, not at all.
Not you in particular, just in general. You know, like I know, some people are not into masks, some, but, just keep your customer happy. If they feel like, if they look uneasy, just put your mask on, it's not gonna kill you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Free massage.
That makes everyone happy.
Yes.
There you go.
And we're gonna, follow all the CDC guidelines at the time. Like right now, there aren't any. But if they require, temperature checks, we're ready to do that. So whatever happens in the next month, I guess we'll see. But
No, man, it's coming up, what, next month already? Can you believe it's here?
yeah, almost here.
It's going
And
fast.
definitely bring somebody to help you. This is not a one-person event. You're gonna wear yourself out if you try to do it by yourself. So bring a friend or have friends, take shifts to help you. You're gonna want to take breaks, like Pat said, you're gonna want to post on social media,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's the main
and
thing.
you're gonna
Yeah.
want to go shopping.
Yeah, you're there to enjoy it too, and see the spectacle of Shopapalooza. It's a thing, man. Like this is an event, and COVID, and yeah, people are going to be safe, but there's going to be people who are jonesing to get out, especially after last year.
Right.
So I mean, you're right though. You want to have a friend because if you need the break, you sure as heck don't want an empty booth even for a few minutes, because people will assume you're just not there, and they'll just keep walking right by, and you'll blow if you 2 or 3 minutes. You'll blow God knows how many people walking by.
Yeah.
So have a friend or two, like you said, post on social, go get a break, go enjoy the food, go, however you want to do, go walk around, go see the sights, go look at the water. It's such a beautiful venue.
It is a beautiful venue.
It's breathtaking to walk around the whole entire thing and see people and the grass and the blue sky and the water and the birds. It's like, wow, this is why we live in Florida in fall, because it's 80 degrees and it's nice out.
Right.
And you'll get your 10,000 steps, and you'll be all fit.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Okay, G and K, you had a quick question about booth layout.
Right. So because we've been in some more restrictive events than others, and we're also a pandemic created business. So in terms of could we have for us, a rack of aprons or something outside of the tent walls, like in front of the tent? Some have been stricter than others. And so we don't want to step on any toes as well.
Yeah. I mean, don't try to go too far out, but if you're a little bit, that's fine.
Okay.
As long as you're not blocking other vendors. Like one year we had one vendor who had this giant rack, and it was blocking the view of their neighboring vendor.
Yeah.
So, be considerate. It's, if you wouldn't want this to happen to you, then don't do it to others.
Right. Okay. Perfect. I think that was it for setup wise, right? I think so. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Any other, Santiago, you still have your hand raised. Did we answer your question or you need more?
That was one of his massaging hands.
Oh, I think yes.
I'm getting used to it.
Awesome. Okay, so any other questions anyone can think of? Or any other bits of advice?
Just have fun.
Smile.
It's going to be a long event, 2 days, but have fun because it's crazy. It's nice.
I have a little bit of advice. So Esther said to smile.
Yep.
And Pat said to have fun. Well, then the only thing left I could think of is for me to say to make some money.
Ooh, whoa.
That's awesome.
Money.
Wow. I like that.
And be saucy. That's right.
That's right. Be saucy.
Yeah. If you have any questions, the best way to reach me is email or through Facebook when Facebook is not down. I mean, you can also call me. I'm not really good at answering the phone all the time, but email is best because then I can have a record of everything. I'm not going to forget that you send me a message. And Facebook, I'm always on Facebook.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. And like,
Oh, there's another question.
oh, another question, where? Okay, so any other booths that might want to get together about some booth ideas or critiques?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think maybe a little social. Maybe you guys could decide if, do you want them to like maybe have a conversation in the business group?
Yeah, that's great.
And then maybe
Yep.
someone can post that. That would be great. And do
Yeah.
meet up at a brewery or a restaurant or something.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And
Great
Yeah.
idea.
You say a
Yeah.
brewery? I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and maybe think of ways to collaborate. Like Michelle is really good at that kind of stuff, but come up with like contests, like, you know, between vendors to drive people from one booth to another. Michelle has great ideas about that. So.
Oh, for sure. Definitely the idea to collaborate. So you could do some, oh, wait, chocolate meeting. I like that, Monica. She said a chocolate meeting.
Oh, I like that too.
Do things like even a discount between two different booths.
Yeah.
Or if your booth is even next to another booth, talk to that person that morning and, you know, and try to find a way to work together to co-promote each other, for sure.
Oh, another fun idea that some vendors had in 2019 was like they painted some rocks with like their logos and they kind of scattered them around. And then if people found them and they brought them to your booth, they would get like a discount or get like a little gift. But it was just another fun little thing, you know.
Nice.
Or just for branding.
Yeah, no, and Esther, you know, it's a teamwork thing, like Local Shops One. I mean, there's competition loosely, but it is a team effort.
Right.
Yeah.
And to see that happen, and then once you get media coverage and you talk about other businesses and how it's a cohesive unit here in the Tampa Bay area, it just comes across really nice. And if you combine your social media power with the booth, the vendor next to you, or or a few vendors down, and you guys combined all your friends together and you tell them where you are and you're showing video and pictures of this, it just brings in more people and that benefits the whole entire event. So I just think it's a good positive stuff, you know?
Yeah, and post about each other. We have the vendor lists up on the website. We have all the food vendors, regular vendors, activities. So post about each other. Don't just post about yourself.
Right. And real quick, I know we're gonna have some great bands and musicians this year.
Yes.
Because 2 years ago, we had some really good ones.
Yep. We have a good lineup. The lineup is on the website also. You can see who's gonna be there.
I'm excited.
And we have we're bringing in a little tiny home, a Victorian tiny home.
Yes.
So cute.
So we're gonna have she actually built a deck for us to use as a second stage.
I love it.
So we'll have the main stage and then we have the Victorian house tiny deck and we have street performers. It's gonna be even better than 2019.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah,
Esther, did you think in 2009, Esther, did you fast forward 12 years and think about what could be happening?
No.
Exactly.
I had no idea what I was doing in 2009.
And look where you are now.
We've been winging it ever since.
That's it.
I know. And I want to thank everyone for being a part of the biggest Shopapalooza to date so far.
Yes.
So it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait.
Thank you, Esther.
Thank you.
Pippa.
There are a few other questions, but we did cover those already. So do you want to go over them, Esther? Or you want them to watch the video?
We can go over them quickly if you want.
Okay, so one of them is, when will we know who we are next to? And you covered that they have to choose their own spot on Friday.
Right. So like, I don't even know who's gonna be next to each other. So when you get there, you'll check in, we'll take you to your zone and you'll choose a space within your zone.
Yes. And then the other question is, have you designated where everyone's going to be in their zones yet?
No. Again, you choose your own space. If you want to be next to somebody, when you check in, take two spots.
Together, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
And the only ones that are kind of reserved are people that paid for electricity because those spots are limited. So electrical people won't have as many options.
And then the next question is, when are you going to announce zones?
I mean, I can announce them anytime as long as you all agree to be flexible, that if things change, you're not gonna flip out.
Right.
So you guys tell me if you all agree that if I tell you your zone tomorrow, you'll
I
be
don't know
okay
if
if things change.
Not be able to flip out about anything.
No flipping out.
Nope.
No, it's okay.
Because things like change, like sometimes the city puts like decorations where we don't know they're gonna put decorations.
Yes.
So that for space. So we're not gonna really know final anything until Wednesday when we go there to like mark the spots.
Right.
But I can tell you now pretty much what zone you're gonna be in. So no flipping or flopping.
That's it.
So I'll send an email, like a follow-up email with like or the link to the recording.
Mhm.
And I can include a link to show you where your zone is right now.
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. We're right around an hour, which I think is great. And so I'm gonna hit stop on the recording. I'm gonna end it. We'll create it into a YouTube link to make it easy for everybody to access it. And I'll be sending that to Esther. And if you have questions, you can contact myself, Pat, Esther, anyone, and we're here to help you because we want everybody to be successful at Shopapalooza.
And I'll include Pat's email and also Michelle's email. if you need
Perfect.
to, connect directly with them. And,
Awesome.
thank you for coming, everybody.
Guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Esther.
Thank you. Thanks, Michelle, for speaking.
No problem.